Alright, last night I had actually made a video about my Spectre, which is it's my favorite sidearm. It's very comfortable, it functions very well, has very few jams, very good pistol that some members of my squad, one in particular, just liked using that weapon, just using that with socks, and that's all she would use. Unfortunately, after I've shown off my Spectre, the catch nub at the back of the plunger tube cracked off. Literally, I took my 5 shots with the Spectre at the flag, and after I was done and I clicked done with the video, it had just, like, it wasn't cocking anymore, and I knew exactly what the problem was. Once again, the catch nub cracked off. And I'm kind of debating whether I don't want to show that video because it's not fair, because it did break, and it would, like, it's a video where I heavily recommend the Spectre, but then afterwards it's broken. So inside of this sense, I don't know if I recommend increasing the springs on it unless you use some DevCon plastic welder to reinforce the catch nub. But I'm probably going to try to make another video when I get some DevCon plastic welder from Home Depot, and I'm going to see if it actually will work in bringing the blaster back. I mean, the worst part about it is that I don't think I'm going to be able to use it for HVZ, because even if the DevCon works, it's going to have that second aura of, it might not work or irreliability. So, and it's like, because I like adding more videos to my feed, I like showing some stuff off. This is something that I have lying around, and this is, of course, a big bad bow. A big bad bow with what I like about it is that it has 2 strong springs inside. It has a very beefy recon spring that is actually a little bit thicker than a standard recon spring. I don't know exactly why it is. In fact, when I used it with a power stock, it wouldn't work properly because the spring was so thick that I would have to trim the inside down, sort of like Orange Modworks style, where you have to sometimes trim down the spring. Not actually, it's not not like an Orange Modworks spring, sort of like the rapid fire shotgun spring, where if you added it to the recon, you have to trim down some of the inside because the metal was so much beefier. But anyway, this one has a stretched out 52, and it has the longest, most stretchiest 52 I have, which is so long that I can't use it in any other blaster because it's too big for most power stocks. But this one has 2 springs, has a CPVC coupler. It has it's dead space. Most of it has been completely removed. The only thing I haven't quite done is that what I have to do is that I kind of, when I get a ride to a hardware store, I need to take out the plunger tube of this gun, this one right here, and I have to pick out some rubber washers. I want to glue them to the outside of the plunger tube so that it gets a perfect seal. Right now the seal is less than perfect because it's a big bad bow. It does not traditionally have a very strong seal. And I'm going to see if I can make a perfect seal around it and see if that improves the ranges. I mean, it's already shooting very hard. I mean, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 shots at the flag and call it. Takes a while for me to fire these because I have to manually load each one because I don't have a speed loader because I don't have enough CPVC. That one wasn't quite strong. And for the last one, I'm going to shoot my arm and see if it leaves a welt, because that's how we test in our HVZ games, to see if guns are game legal. Ow! Let's see here. Do I have anything cooking up there? Not that significant. It's not as powerful as this morning. This morning I had put a K26 inside of it, and it was giving off like a lot of power. It was really shooting really hard, but the K26 is actually a little bit too narrow for the plunger tube. So it actually stuck out of the plunger tube, and it stopped the gun from functioning properly. Get another shot in there. Ow! Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. That's cooking up a little bit. Let's see if I can get a good profile on this. Let's see here. The center one is from this morning when I got shot with the K26, and you can see that there's still a very strong imprint on that. And in case anyone's wondering, I get rings because I'm firing stock streamlines, and their heads collapse when they hit something, which causes ring welts. If you use a Stefan, you'd probably get a solid circle. And you can see this one is developing. It's developing to be quite red. It's not quite as bad. It looks a lot worse in camera than it is in real life. That's not very bad at all. But you can see this one. You can imagine what that one looked like. That one was just like a bruise when it came out. This was 7 hours ago and it's still there. And this one just looks like really red. Like, as you can see, has a good amount of power to it, and it hits very hard. It's coming off of a single CPVC barrel. I'm hoping that if I can improve the seal, people don't recommend you can use this blaster with a Y, but I think you might be able to, simply because it gives off enough power to use an RSCB, and Y hopper clips, they have better air efficiency. So I don't know. I don't know why people say you can't use a Y clip with it. I presume that you can with a rubber washer glued onto the top of the plunger head, and I'm willing to experiment with this. I'm willing to put maybe all of $1 into experimenting, because if I can get it working, I may be able to start hooking up some of the Ys I have inside of my parts box. But anyway, there you go. That's the video. Hopefully I'll be able to fix my Spectre. I'll be able to make a video on that. And also hopefully I'll be able to, if I get a ride to the hardware store, I'll be able to pick up more plumber's glue, and I'll be able to put the finishing touches on a Doomsayer. First ever. I'm very excited. I ran into a snag because I actually tried to put PETG barrels with hot glue, and it was a disaster of epic proportions. PETG will be melted by hot glue. It was a terrible idea, and it had taken forever to remove. I had to freeze it 3 times and hack away at it with a combination of a screwdriver and a spade drill bit. So there's a big pile of shredded hot glue and melted PETG that is just sitting inside of the other room that I still have to throw out. So just word to the wise, PETG plus hot glue equals very bad idea. You could not get a worse idea than that. Worst combination there is not of. And the long story short is I don't have enough plumber's glue to make anything close to what I need to make the Doomsayer. But when it comes out, it's going to be a rear loading Doomsayer, is my thought, because I already did all that. I'm gonna have to still have to glue up into the barrels. I'm gonna have 9-inch long barrels, 11 of which are already cut. One more I have to cut because it got destroyed when I tried to rebarrel it. And I'm hoping that it does well. The only thing I'm still debating is whether or not I want to put a core of 1732 brass inside of the base of it, so that it can fire streamlines better. But besides that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm also waiting to get my Dremel back. My friend is borrowing it for some of his projects, and I cannot finish my second brass breech without my Dremel. I didn't know I had the brass I needed to finish the job. I had broken the first receiving barrel when I was trying to make it all work. I was trying to somehow make. I was too zealous. I was too much of a zealot with the tightening rings, so it wasn't working properly. But I've tested the long shot, which I just reassembled just for convenience, and it's cycling darts. It's cycling darts up into the first bolt. There's with a brass breech you have a bolt here and another bolt here, which is the barrel. So right now the dart is moving up and it's being pushed forward by the pushing barrel, which is the part that's connected to connected to everything. It has less spring power than the first one, but it also has a smaller base that I can use it from. It's also going to be the subject of experimentation with whether or not you can use Walmart multi-purpose cement for this sort of a breach operation. I'm gonna be doing probably 500 shots off of it to see if it survives, and if it survives, then I'm going to call Nerfomania and tell him that, you know, it worked. He told me it did to 1,000, but because I only have sort of like half as much surface area contact, I figure 500 shots of it is more than enough. Anyway, that's a short update, showing off my big bad bow, which is sure to plague, you know, friends at parties, you know, by shooting them. And that's it. There we go.